Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, it's Monday, we're back to the top of the workshop looking at the top performing map of the moment, and it's this one, and it's very nice indeed. It's a creator we've done twice in the past, episodes 1191 and 1263, where they got 11 and 13 stars respectively. So very much an adept creator at the very least, and I mean at the very 13 stars means you've got 5 stars somewhere, so they ain't bad, I tell you. It's a real life location in Germany and it's very well done. I don't know what more to tell you. Very well done indeed. There's going to be very little to complain about with today's map. A lot of it will come down to personal opinion, not one for those that like to play vanilla though. It's definitely a modders map. But before we get on and do any of that, I've got a little bit of non-modders bingo. Click the link, grab yourself a bingo card, check off the memes as we go along, if there are any, of course. And of course, before we get started, we've always got one little task for all of you to do. It's the daily reminder. That's right, clicking that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's map is Regensburg by Uncle Ron. Yes, Uncle Ron is back. In fact, one of their previous maps I have got plans for. It's going to take a little bit of a time to set up, but I have plans. Uncle Ron, I have plans for one of your maps. There's your start square. Plenty of buildable space there. I don't think anybody's going to complain about the amount of buildable space there. Terrain heights taken from real life and lots of buildable space in there as well. Resources are a bit patchy here and there, but again, probably good for a proper serious play. We've got ore in quarries and stuff. And fishing, if you've got Sunset Harbour and want to do some fishing, it's mostly about the salmon, which I'm guessing sounds about right, I feel. Okay, off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, no DLCs required today, but it is a bit of a modders map. There's some instructions which you'll want to follow, pretty much, including instructions on how to get the right rail lines, the right visuals and stuff like that. Some of this won't really matter too much if you don't actually have them. There are a couple of one-click collections. Oh, look at a shout out to me and the members of the BonBonB Discord channel as well. Anyway, it's a disco channel. D-I-S-C. Oh, so anyway, we've got a couple of one-click collections. I'll say a couple direct listed, which include trees and plants and rocks and stuff, including a few mods on this one. And some of them you could probably get away with not having, like the no controller or the intersection marking tool. But if you want it to look like we see, you'll definitely want them. We'll be using the Radersbone theme mix and the Radersbone LUT as well. There's a second one here which is mostly about the railways. There is actually a vanilla map which doesn't have these custom railways, so there is this as well. There's also a couple of link collections at the bottom which you'll probably, if you're playing the modded game, you'll probably want those as well, which includes things like custom ships as well, because these rivers are very shallow, very light, fairly narrow, with lowish bridges, and so the vanilla ships will be clipping through them. I haven't actually activated, but it doesn't matter too much, because while there are shipping routes, there's nothing that goes right the way across the map, so we won't actually see any ships spawn in. But if you are going to be playing, you want the advanced vehicle options mod as well. But it's all linked. It's all linked. It's a very well written, constructed description with every bit of information that you need there and links to everything you want, including Traffic Manager President Edition. I'll have a bit of a minor grumble during the flyover about a minor traffic problem, but the mod is listed, so it's there for us to fix it. My only grumble is it's kind of nice for it not to be a problem to start off with. If that's the biggest problem with this map, and it's not really a huge problem, then that's your problem with the map, you know? Anyway, it looks amazing. Of course, this is the sort of map that I absolutely adore. It's the green and pleasant land, although it's technically Germany and not the United Kingdom, so it's not the right sort of green and pleasant land. Ah, the British countryside. Yeah, it's exactly the same as the Northern European countryside, pretty much, depending on which parts of Northern Europe you go to, I guess. Anyway, we've got some lovely intersections taken from real life, including a big old potato about there. And the intersection marking tool in operation, we've got the chevrons pointing the right way. I have actually had a look down in real life, and these chevrons don't stop dead in real life. They do go on. Oh, and tiny hint, blue mantle. Ooh, how did I miss that? That would be easily fixed with a little ploppable asphalt over the top of it. That wouldn't be the way. As problems go with blue mantle, that is a very low one, but it's one of those that can pop up when you squeeze those nodes quite tightly together. Anyway, the shapes of the networks and such look realistic because they're based on realism. The gradients feel really quite right as well. And I didn't see any tunnels on the real life map. I saw cuttings, but that doesn't mean that there aren't. Maybe I'm going a little bit senile in my old age, and maybe they are there. I spent about 1 minute looking at the real life map. I don't think I've really analysed this in depth. I haven't. I really haven't. But even if it's not accurate, it still feels and looks accurate, so I'm good with it. I'm good. In terms of a Cities Skylines play, I'm really good with it. Next week, we've got one more tunnel coming up here. Now, you'll see a bit of tailback of traffic poking out the back of this tunnel. And this is what Traffic Manager is going to be useful for, because on the other side of this is our start square intersection, and it's a little bit stop, and I say a little bit stop-start. You won't see any stationary traffic. It is continuously moving, but it is a little bit slow down, start up. You probably will want that fixed. These tunnels, they're fully rendered, by the way. I'm just going to take you into one of the tunnels. I was hoping it would actually be completely clear, but it won't be. Have a little look on the left-hand side as we enter the tunnel. This is really lovely work. Clearly not the map maker's work, but I really like the way that opens up, giving a view through to the other side. Sadly, we don't get it as the tunnel goes all the way along because of the way that these things work. That would have been the tunnel entrance bit of rendering, I feel. But yes, we're kind of stuck in traffic now. But it's a great asset, a really great asset indeed. Anyway, I did say something about start square intersection. This is your start square intersection. We've got 3 lanes, the dedicated split lane going on there, coming around to here, and yeah, you're going to be starting building actually just over there, I feel. If I remember rightly, if I've got my bearings right. Once you spun the camera around a few times, you do kind of lose your bearings a bit. Anyway, especially on the map, which is, shall we say, a little bit nondescript in terms of that there's no specific pointy mountain to focus or feature on, or a coastline to angle towards. Again, a lovely intersection there. We'll actually be coming back to this intersection because allowing for that tiny hint of blue mantle we saw earlier, and a little bit of traffic flow problems, that intersection is for me, or has for me, the biggest problem with it on the entire map. And when you see what the problem is, you'll know it's not really a problem. it's the biggest talking point. How about that? We'll go with talking point. Again, we've got what looks like a bit. Oh, got traffic to let him in. Twin, the twin let him in. Not sure what's happening there. Again, Traffic Manager Present Edition will very quickly fix that little problem again. So yeah, definitely a modest map. And in terms of the technical side of it, in terms of water flow and things like that, which we'll check out in the second half of the show, as always, you'll see that yes, you're probably going to be going there. If you're playing this 100% vanilla, first of all, you won't have any roads. There is a vanilla version, remember, though. There is a vanilla. We're not checking that one out. We always go for the glorious one because it looks better on Facebook. The Facebook? What YouTube? Oh, man. Oops. So, yes. I guess my biggest problem with this map, on the grand scheme of things, is it's not iconic enough. And I don't mean that as a real negative in any way, shape or form, because the map is visually very lovely indeed. And it's exactly what it should be. So how do you fault that? But in terms of the map that you remember, take something like, I mean, the classic. The classic would be Revelstoke, where you have that rock face, you have the dam, you have things where you go, oh man, look at this. Well, I could say, oh man, look at this with this map, but I kind of like not remember which one it was in a week's time. It's beautiful. You play on this, you're going to love it. You want to get screenshots from this, you're going to get very nice screenshots. There's nothing to fault with this one. But in terms of making it memorable, well, there's nothing really Uncle Ron could do about that apart from finding a more iconic location, which, again, somebody else has probably done already. I can't fault Uncle Ron's work here. It's on point. So my biggest problem is the photography. I'm going to stick with that. The photography of Regensburg is okay. It's fine. And don't get me wrong, I like this. This is exactly the sort of terrain that I would love to build on. It is very lovely. It's green and pleasant land, although it's the wrong country. How dare you? How dare you give me a German map to look at? But it's lovely. Rail lines, as you can see. I'm not really talking about the rail because there's nothing to talk about. If we take a right there, we'll go across the map the long way, and honestly, you're not going to learn anything. You're learning everything you need to know about the rail from the short route. So we'll go straight to the edge of the map. Anyway, so that you've heard about my biggest grumble. Second half of the show, we'll have a look at a few feature points. There are a few, and then we'll give it some ratings. Oh, and we'll check out the shipping. Do you reckon there'll be shipping? Oh, I've already told you there's shipping. Okay, back after this.
Do you have thousands of mods and assets and find controlling them burdensome? Did you know that the workshop has a way of helping to control your subscription? Find out more with BonBonB's collections tutorial.
And so back to Regensburg by Uncle Ron and the shipping routes, which I've said that there are some. Remember, you're going to be wanting to use the Advanced Vehicle Options mod to get yourself some nice slick ships, low ones that will go under those bridges. This looks like it might be a little bit cross-country. Now, we do have a mod, which I think it's called Land Ships, which is linked in the description as well, which will mean that you won't actually beach on that section. But I still would rather that you didn't have to go across the land anyway. Apparently that mod is there to stop ships from actually beaching on the edge of the map, according to Uncle Ron's description. But yeah, that isn't really a worry for me so much as in what we just saw down there. Just a tiny hint of cross-country shipping. Tiny hint of just slightly bit, wee bit. Okay, water flow. Yeah, we've got a working river system, but it's very light flow. It's very shallow. If you draw and pump from this river, you are going to create chaos. You're going to have dry patches. You're going to have death everywhere. There is a little bit of water motion, but yeah, go with mods on this one. Go with mods. Right, overall, it's a lovely map. I think it's really well done, perfectly done. I cannot fault it. Apart from it's not iconic enough, I cannot fault it. Loving the forest work. Now you've got a nice forest clump there, nice forest clump here. Again, based on real life, so some of these shapes won't make natural make natural sense, but it's where deforestation has come and we put farms and villages and stuff. And so I believe it. Absolutely believe it. And if you're going to try and recreate the area, you'll probably want it to be right. We've got some really interesting shots. I like the islands down the middle of the river here. Just look really... If you're going to do a custom build here, islands like that will make for an interesting custom build. And I love this forested bit up in the hills as well. That is just really top work. You will need the unlimited tree mod as well. We were talking about mods. That is on the list. So I can't fault it for that, but just saying it in case you're wondering. Probably the most interesting bit of detailing on the entire map. Absolutely on point. Looks really good as well. And looks believable. I like it. I like it. Good work. Uncle Ron, take a bow for that. What more have we got today? We've got loads of little feature areas to focus on. Let's come over to here. Right, we've got 2 quarries. This is the little quarry. The baby quarry. Actually, we've got 3 quarries. But we'll get to the third one in a while. So that's the baby one here. Then there's the big one, which is over here. These aren't overdone, these are just subtly done, and I would say they don't need to be done any more than they have been. A few of you might feel that there could be more, but that's fine. Not sure what's going on in the middle here. It's completely fenced off, probably based on a real life thing, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. It's interesting. Adds a bit of detail to the map, which just brings the map to life a bit. And then over here we've got harbour quay off of the river, something like that. Yeah, looks good. Looks believable. I like it. Back to the Cloverleaf intersection. This is where we've got a little bit of the traffic problem going on. If we bring the camera over here, have we got any traffic funny shenanigans going on? Not right now, but I have seen traffic going right the way across the intersection there as well. Now, I did say we'd come back to this trumpet intersection because I don't know. I think there's talking points as much as anything. So we've got the slip road here to be able to exit off of here, and then we've got effectively a 2-lane road. Now, I've had a look in real life, and in real life, both lanes here are used. Here, that is a solid line. I don't think that we're supposed to change lanes. And have a look at the end. It all disappears. So that for me is you're only meant to use one lane. The same on this side. You come in on the left, you stay on the inside, you follow it around, you stay on the left, and then it merges out on the left only. So yeah, it's not quite a match for real life. You see how that... Oh, we actually got a bit of open lane here. I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, yes, minor talking points, nothing really to massively grumble about. My biggest technical problem with the map, excluding the blue mantle, is this off-ramp here, which is a bit wibbly. Forget about the glitching in the middle, I can get over that. A little bit wibbly there, and then we've got a couple of tiny little jinky jankies going on here and here. So something is a bit wobbly going on. There you go, that's as bad as it gets. Oh, hang on, misalignment of the lane markings going on there. That's a bit weird as well. Tiny stuff. Tiny stuff. Let's get back to good stuff. You know, I said something about a third quarry. How about an old abandoned quarry which has become forested? That is nice. I really like that. I really like that. So, for every minor grumble that I could come up with, I could find 20 things that I like about the map. Nothing iconic, but plenty of things to waffle on about, and I do like to waffle on. In case you hadn't noticed. Alright, down to Start Square, we've got a lovely asset of the day. Start Square, beautiful, loads of flat buildable space, apart from this bit. Because I've already got a building down in its place, it's the RICO Smart Hub Obolon A. There is an BonBonB as well, and there might be a C and D coming, I don't know. It's an office, by psixovaniy, I've got your name, it's in my head now. Yeah, it's an office space which people can rent office space in, I think, something like that. Like startup businesses, stuff like that, you need somewhere to work from. I think this is what this is all about. And factoids, because factoids. This one, I've done some research. In the area of the old city of Regensburg was a Celtic settlement, a Radersbona, from which the theme and LUT gets its name for today's show, and later became a settlement of a Roman stronghold and legionary camp. From about 1000 AD, or CE if you like metric, Regensburg was home to a large Jewish population, possibly the first Jewish settlement in Germany, until the Jews were expelled in the 15th century. Because obviously it's a very delicate subject, probably not to talk about this one in the comments. Thank you very much. Be prepared to be kicked. Smart Hub Obolon A by psixovaniy. Today's asset of the day. So yes, obviously just use common sense in the comments, please. Okay, thank you. Right, your chance to vote on the map. Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now in the top right corner of your screen, or the link in the description. It'll take you to the voting page where you can vote for free with a Facebook, Gmail, Apple, or a Patreon account. But what do I think of today's map? Well, aesthetically, I would use, and I've been using this word a lot lately, I feel like a 14-year-old girl here, it's lush. It's right lush. I like it. I like it a lot. I can't give it 5 stars though, because it's kind of forgettable in the same way. There's nothing wrong with it. It's absolutely on point. I'm going to go for a medium-high 4 stars, but it just lacks that iconic thing about it. Detailing is strong. There's nothing really taking it to the next level, so 5 stars is out of the question. But what I'm seeing, I like a lot, and for liking a lot, you're going to get a middle 4 stars at the very least, and that's what I'm going to give you. Gameplay potential looks pretty playable. Remember, definitely a modder's map. Few things to fix once you've got your mods up and running, which is why I can't really give it 5 stars, but it's going to be, I think, a fairly slightly above average 4-star map, so medium high 4. Regensburg by Uncle Tom. Very good work, Uncle Tom. I'm proud. It's BonBonB seal of approval. That's what you get for when Bonbon's proud. I like your work, my friend. You have definitely developed into one of the names. I think now, whenever you've seen Uncle Tom, who's this Uncle Tom? It's Ron's brother. Uncle Ron map come up on the workshop now. It's gonna, let's take a look at this one. Oh yeah, you don't need to ask. No request list for this one. Anyway, if you're still here, you're part of the 20 and actually use the words of the day in the comments to score some population points just for fun. And I'll be back tomorrow with another map in the What's Map series. Have a great afternoon. I'll see you very, very soon.